South China Morning Post, 23rd of February 2023. 1 year later, China wants the conflict in Ukraine to end quickly because Russia is still an ally and partner in a divided world, according to a survey. According to a recent survey commissioned by a European think tank, most Chinese see Russia as a necessary partner. People in China, India, and Turkey prefer a fast end to the Ukraine conflict, even if it means losing territory. According to a European Council on Foreign Relations, ECFR, report on the poll, the findings of which point to the public opinion gap between the West and the rest of the world ahead of the first anniversary of the Russian invasion. However, those in the US and Western Europe want to aid the former Soviet state in defeating Russia. In a report released on Wednesday, the ECFR stated that a year after Russia's war on Ukraine started, the US and its European allies have regained their unity and a sense of purpose. However, the study also shows a significant gap between the West and the rest regarding their objectives for the conflict and their divergent perceptions of why the US and Europe support Ukraine. The report's poll findings highlighted the disparity in opinion worldwide regarding the war. In response to the question, would you rather win the battle or end it? Even if it meant Ukraine giving up control of some regions to Russia, 42% of respondents in China said the conflict had to end as quickly as possible. The majority of respondents from India, Turkey, and Russia shared this opinion, with 54, 48, and 44% of those respondents, respectively, supporting an immediate halt to hostilities. On the other hand, the European Union, Britain, and the United States were more likely to agree that Ukraine needed to regain all its territory, even if that meant a longer conflict or more Ukrainians being killed and displaced. A total of 79% of Chinese respondents selected either a necessary partner, with whom we must strategically collaborate, or an ally that shares our interests and values. In response to the question, which best represents your view on what Russia is to your country? Similar findings were obtained from India and Turkey, though more Indians identified Russia as an ally. More than 70% of US, EU, and UK respondents agreed that Russia is an enemy or rival. More than 40% of Chinese and Russian respondents asked why Europe and the US supported Ukraine and stated it was to protect Western dominance. The poll's findings, collected in December and January, were made public as the world prepared to commemorate the day Russia attacked Ukraine on February 24, 2016. In a video address to the Munich Security Conference last week, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky encouraged world leaders to speed up support for his nation. The event was attended by prominent Western leaders, including French President Emmanuel Macron, German Chancellor Olaf Scholz, and US Vice President Kamala Harris, who claimed that Russia had committed crimes against humanity in Ukraine. A day before top Chinese diplomat Wang Yi was due to travel to Russia, US President Joe Biden made a surprise stop in Kyiv to show support. In addition, Biden promised a new $500 million military package as Russian forces renewed their efforts to seize control of Ukraine's eastern Donbas region. China is prepared to expand its strategic partnership with Russia, according to Wang, whose journey to Moscow included a meeting with President Vladimir Putin. Wang, the most senior Chinese official to visit Moscow since the Russian invasion, stated that bilateral relations had withstood duress and would not be influenced by any third party. According to the Kremlin, Putin informed Wang that cooperation between Russia and China was crucial to bringing stability to the international scene. Chinese President Xi Jinping is also anticipated to travel to Russia shortly to demonstrate cooperation with the Russians. According to Volker Turk, the UN's High Human Rights Commissioner, the Ukraine conflict has resulted in more than 8,000 civilian deaths and nearly 13,300 injuries. Approximately 14 million people have also been displaced, and almost 18 million urgently need humanitarian help, according to Turk. The recent poll on the war included 19,765 respondents from 9 EU nations and Great Britain, the United States, China, India, Turkey, and Russia. It was conducted by the ECFR and the University of Oxford's Europe in a Changing World project. In collaboration with regional organizations, the Gallup International Association ran an online survey in China that included participants from Shanghai, Beijing, Guangzhou, and Shenzhen. According to the report, the data for China, Russia, and India were mainly urban-centric and should be regarded as representative only for the population covered by the poll. The statement that the findings from Russia and China need to be interpreted with caution, keeping in mind the possibility that some respondents may have felt constrained in expressing their opinions freely, was included as a disclaimer at the end of the report.